Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to welcome you to today's presentation titled The Crisis of Purpose: Modern Relationships and the Power of No Contact. Today, we're going to explore how our lives have changed and what that means for our relationships. We'll look at why no contact can be such a powerful tool, especially with avoidant partners. So, over the next few slides, we'll dive into the roots of this modern crisis and how it influences our sense of belonging and fulfillment. I'm glad you're here, and I look forward to sharing these insights with you. Let's talk about how the sources of purpose and community have shifted over time. In the past, people found their sense of identity and belonging through various channels like church congregations, civic clubs, local communities, and extended family gatherings. These different domains provided a well-rounded sense of purpose, and while a spouse or partner was important, they weren't the only source of meaning in life. Fast forward to today, and you'll notice a significant change. Workplaces have now become the new centers of identity and community. They're no longer just about earning a paycheck. They offer a sense of belonging, a mission, and even social status. At the same time, romantic partners are expected to serve multiple roles: best friends, confidants, emotional anchors, adventure partners, and even therapists, all at once. This creates a load on relationships that's truly unprecedented in scope. So overall, the balance has shifted from multiple sources of community and purpose towards more concentrated roles in work and romantic relationships, reflecting broader changes in how we find meaning and connection today. Let's talk about the consequences of over-reliance on just a couple of emotional sources. When we pour all our emotional resources into only two stocks, namely, work and our partner, it almost guarantees disappointment. Neither of these can be resilient enough to meet every single emotional need we have. Now, technology plays a big role here because it often fosters this illusion of connection. It speeds up the breakdown of genuine community interactions, making us feel connected without actually experiencing the depth of real, embodied presence. As a result, many people find themselves living in emotional isolation. They depend excessively on just one partner to meet needs that, in the past, might have been fulfilled by a whole village or community. So this cycle of over-reliance and superficial connection can lead us into a place where genuine emotional resilience becomes harder to maintain. It's a key part of understanding the broader impact of our modern lifestyle on emotional well-being. Let's talk about cultivating purpose. Purpose isn't something you just passively receive or find by chance. It's something you actively nurture and develop over time. Often, people rediscover their purpose during challenging moments, like a crisis, a breakup, or a setback. These situations can lead us to help others, take on leadership roles, or recommit to our families. For example, imagine someone who experiences a professional collapse or a painful breakup. Instead of immediately jumping into another job or relationship, they might find renewed purpose by serving their community, volunteering, or creating something that truly matters. And here's an important point: vulnerability plays a crucial role here. Admitting that we can't fix life all on our own opens the door to deeper meaning and connection. It's through this acknowledgement that we often find a richer, more resilient sense of purpose. So, cultivating purpose is an active process, one that often emerges through our willingness to be vulnerable and to serve beyond ourselves. This aligns perfectly with our broader theme of living intentionally and finding deeper fulfillment in all aspects of life. Let's talk about the power of no contact and how it relates to avoidant partners. Often, avoidants don't withdraw because they lack feelings. It's more about feeling overwhelmed by the expectations placed on them. In our culture, where partners are expected to juggle many roles, avoidance can become a natural defense mechanism. No contact is a powerful tool because it removes that pressure. It gives space for both partners to breathe and breathe freely. It disrupts the cycle where the avoidant might feel cornered, over-relied upon, or emotionally drained. By stepping back, no contact creates that essential space that avoidants desperately need. It allows them to re-regulate their emotions and approach the relationship on their own terms, rather than feeling forced into a particular role or response. So, in essence, no contact isn't about punishing or pushing away. It's about creating the conditions for healthier, more balanced interactions, especially for those who tend to withdraw under pressure. When an avoidant partner goes no contact, it triggers a process of reflection. Absence, in this case, isn't just about distance, it's about forcing them to confront the silence they once craved. Often, they realize what they've lost, not in the midst of constant demands and chaos, but in the quiet of separation. This kind of psychological reset is powerful because it allows them to experience longing instead of feeling suffocated. It creates space for genuine emotion to surface, rather than just reacting out of pressure or fear. Most importantly, avoidants don't typically return out of manipulation, but because this space gives them clarity. They start to see their true feelings more clearly, which often prompts them to reconsider their stance or re-engage in the relationship. So, in the grander scheme, this dynamic of returning highlights how crucial silence and space can be for understanding and emotional growth in these relationships. So, if the avoidant partner does decide to come back, it's really important not to fall back into old patterns of overpressure. Instead, our focus should be on creating a safe space for them. That means validating their emotions, letting them know we understand how they feel, rather than jumping in to fix or analyze everything right away. Remember, meeting emotion with emotion is much more effective than trying to solve problems with logic. Sometimes, just listening can be more powerful than offering solutions. It's also key to offer presence and patience. Rushing back into intensity or pushing for immediate resolution can actually be overwhelming. By maintaining this kind of emotional environment, calm, understanding, and patient, we help the avoidant feel safe enough to stay engaged without feeling consumed or overwhelmed. This approach supports building trust and understanding, which aligns with our overall goal of fostering healthier, more secure connections. Let's talk about the role of vulnerability. Often we think that strength means never showing weakness, but the paradox is that true strength actually requires vulnerability. When leaders, friends, or partners openly share their struggles, they create an environment where others feel safe to do the same. It's about modeling vulnerability. By doing so, we give those who tend to avoid intimacy permission to drop their defenses. Now, I want to clarify that this doesn't mean oversharing or clinging to every detail. It's more about having the courage to admit our fears, our mistakes, and our needs in a way that invites trust rather than creating pressure. When we do this, we foster genuine connection and trust, which is essential for healthy relationships and effective leadership. So, in the context of everything we've been discussing, vulnerability becomes a powerful tool, one that turns perceived weakness into a source of strength, encouraging openness and connection all around. Building and maintaining meaningful relationships is really about mutual growth. It's important to see these connections, whether romantic or platonic, as agreements where both people invest in each other's development, not just one person supplying emotional support. When both individuals focus on their own self-awareness and personal growth, friendships and partnerships tend to thrive. Overinvesting in one person can be risky. It can destabilize the relationship and even place an unfair burden on your partner, making them feel like they have to fill an impossible role. To sustain love and connection, it's essential to have multiple sources of purpose, like work, community, hobbies, family, or service. Diversifying your sources of fulfillment helps maintain balance and resilience. Now, when it comes to navigating no contact, it's crucial to understand that avoidance often signals deeper emotional wounds, not just indifference. It's not about playing games, it's about intentionally creating space for reflection. The goal is to step back, not to punish. It's also important to take accountability for your role in the relationship dynamics. Ask yourself, did I overinvest? Did I lose touch with my own purpose? Using no contact as a period for self-growth, rather than just waiting around, allows you to emerge stronger, regardless of how things turn out. It's really about turning this time into an opportunity for personal development. Final thoughts. The reason that no contact pulls tend to bring avoidance back is actually quite simple. It's about rebalancing pressure. restoring a sense of individuality and reigniting genuine longing. But more importantly, the bigger lesson here isn't just about tactics or strategies. It's about purpose. When we cultivate a sense of purpose outside of just one person or one role, we free ourselves and our partners from impossible expectations. This kind of freedom makes love lighter, more resilient, and ultimately more human. Moving forward, we need to find a balance between purpose and intimacy, between individuality and togetherness, and between vulnerability and strength. In a culture that often obsesses over control and perfection, the greatest gifts we can offer are patience, presence, and the courage to embrace life's emotional messiness. So remember, it's not about controlling outcomes, but about embracing growth, connection, and the authentic journey of love.